So this forest is subtropical rainforest.
Okay.
And it is mostly rich in plant species. And there are more than 500 species of plants.
Okay. And they are all naturally grown.
Yes, all the plants are naturally grown here. And this big tree here, this is that rhododendron.
Rhododendron.
Yes, it's a botanical name of this tree. It is a flowering tree.
Okay.
It is common also in states like Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Uttarakhand, and Darjeeling in West Bengal. It is also common in Nepal. It's a flowering tree. In this region, flowering season will start by last week of January and last till April.
And this place also gets snowfall?
No, it never snow here. But yes, during the winter, from December to January, the temperature came down, especially in the midnight.
Okay.
There are times where temperature came down to -1 also.
Right.
So the people are not allowed to take anything outside the forest and from its boundaries. I mean, from its areas surrounding.
Not a single leaf?
Not a single leaf, not even a single twig.
Okay.
The local are allowed to use only drinking water.
Only the locals?
Yes. I mean, people who come here, they can use drinking water.
Right.
And the fruit, they can consume within this forest. But
they can't take it outside?
Yes, we cannot take them outside. So this is one of the trees which bear fruit. Locally, we call it sokalam. This is that rudraksha tree. Rudraksh tree.
Rudraksh, that circle round.
Here they are oval.
Okay.
Let me show you the fruits.
Okay.
These are the fruits.
And this is Rudraksh? This is only fruit?
Yes, this is the outer layer is the fruit.
Inner layer is
Rudraksh. And inside this Rudraksh or the bead, there is a seed inside.
Okay.
In which we use for consumption.
Right.
The seed, it has a shape of an almond and a taste of a coconut.
Okay.
And this fruit, we mostly use it for pickle.
Okay. And this fruit is sweet or sour?
Sour in taste.
Okay.
Species of oak tree.
Oak tree.
Yes. And this particular oak, we mostly use it for firewood and for producing charcoal. The best quality charcoal, it comes from this oak. But in these days, because of deforestation, this particular species of oak, at this size, at this height, it is very rare now.
Right. So deforestation happens here also?
Yes, because locally, I mean in the rural areas, most of the people, they depend on forest products and agriculture.
Yeah.
And because of the increasing of chewing cultivation, most forests were degraded for cultivation.
Okay. And there are animals also in this forest?
Yes, there are, but not on this trail we are going.
Okay.
Most of the animals are in the third part of the forest.
Where we can't go?
Yes. And this is one of the trees which is commonly used in these days as timber for furnitures.
Okay.
It is known as champak. That is an epiphyte plant.
Okay.
These
all trees are very high.
Here they are average. Okay. But in other places where it is more humid and the weather is, and the temperature is higher, you'll find more taller trees and bigger in size also. Orchids found here. One of the varieties of orchid.
Okay.
Its flowering season is in the month of May.
Okay. So these orchids can't go outside this forest.
No.
Okay.
So whatever it is of this forest remain inside the forest itself.
And what happens if anyone by any chance take anything?
It will be considered as a bad omen for those people or that particular person who took something outside this forest. And there were many cases also, such cases. Some of them in which we are not allowed to share with the public.
Yeah.
So this is the local species of pine, commonly known as Khasi pine.
Khasi pine.
Yes. And pine we mostly use here as timber for house construction and for furniture, mostly in these days. And we never allow pine to be used as firewood.
Okay.
Especially in this village, in this particular village. Using of pine as firewood from society forest, it is strictly prohibited.
These trees might be very older, no?
Yes, because of the age of this house.
300.
And this was the main trunk of this oak. It fell down during that funny cyclone in 2018.
Okay. These are the stones, right?
Yes, they are commonly known as monolith. They are known as monolith because they are constructed individually.
Okay. They are constructed or?
Yes, they are man-made. They are not natural. They were carved out of stones and rocks itself, and then they were carved into these size, into these shapes, and then they were constructed here for a purpose. So there are two kinds of monolith in our tradition. We have religious monolith, which are these inside the forest, and then we have the other known as a memorial monolith.
And they are not sacred.
Memorial monolith.
Yeah.
They are sacred because
they are monolith.
By the time we constructed them also, proper ritual has been done.
Okay, so there is ritual of fixing it here, or there is ritual of manufacturing it?
For construction of these monolith also ritual was performed.
Okay.
And
here also it was
when they after the construction, they were used for the ritual also performed inside this forest.
Right.
So this point here, it is known as preparation point.
Okay.
So our forefathers, when they came to this forest for the ritual, it was in this point that they checked all the things, or they prepared all the things needed for the ritual. And it was only after everything was ready in this point, only then they proceed to the main part and the ritual was performed there.
Okay. So this ritual is also 500 years ago.
So the one which was performed here, it was stopped, we were told, not 100 years ago, but recently, we can say, about 70, 80 years ago, it was stopped.
Right.
It was constructed. It's in the shape of a table.
So this is the actual shape?
Yes. So this is one of the medicinal plants found inside this forest. It is commonly known as yew tree and yew tree, botanically known as Taxus baccata.
Okay.
And from this tree, from every part of the tree, taxol oil can be extracted.
Okay.
And taxol oil, which later processed into medicines, medicines which are used as an anti-cancer agent.
Okay.
And particularly used for the treatment of breast cancer.
So it is effective?
Yes, it's very effective. But not for the last stage cancer, but for when the disease is diagnosed, at the first stage, it can be. It's very effective.
Okay. It can't go outside.
No, this tree it's available in other parts of the state also. In the last 3 weeks.
Last week?
Yes, last 3 weeks.
Okay. And because of?
Naturally, it was infected with
It's
pests
very old.
or termites. And yes, it's very old, approximately 600 to 700 years old.
Okay.
And the day it fell, or the morning it fell down, it was just a normal windy day.
Okay.
But luckily, there was no one inside the forest.
ये ट्री 3 हफ्ते पहले ही गिरी अपने आप.
This tree has been infected with pests or termites.
Okay. It fell because of termites.
Yes, it lost its
It's
strength.
inside also.
This is how the trees they naturally lost their strength. And I will show you more.
Okay.
Part, you see these roots. These roots they are supposed to remain under the soil,
Okay.
but because of the pressure, because people are entering here daily for 13 years, non-stop, not even a single day also.
Yeah.
There was not a stop for the last 13 years. And because of the pressure, the soil is being compressed downward. And all these
Roots
roots now
are
they are
coming
the
up.
surface. And because of the compression, the soil is becoming harder and harder.
Yeah.
And these small roots or the new roots, they cannot penetrate it towards the soil.
Right.
And they are leaving the surface. And they cannot absorb all the food,
Nutrients.
yes,
Yeah.
all the nutrients. So we are in the main part of the forest. It was here that all the rituals and all the rituals were done and performed. And this is one of the monolith which was used for the ritual.
These are the first or originals.
Yes, this monolith it was constructed right from the time the forest was used
Okay.
for religious purposes. So the ritual was complete. Then the remains of the bull were taken to the center part of the forest and was prepared as food.
Okay.
And the people who came here for the ritual, together they finished the food within the forest itself.
And don't take it back to the
Village.
Yeah.
Never took the village. And after everything was done inside the forest, then they went to the village. They came again to this forest only when it was time for the next ritual. They never regularly came or visited this forest. And because of this tradition, most of the local from this village, they never come or they never enter inside the forest if there is no purpose for them.
Okay.
This is the tradition we are following. And for us also, because of the service, we keep on entering inside the forest.
So, what is the purpose of this tradition? Like,
So the rituals we perform. As you see, the Khasi, for us the Khasi, we have our own indigenous religion.
right.
I mean, we are practicing our own religion. But in these days, yes, we can see that Khasi who are Christians, they are more in numbers.
Yeah.
Only a few, they remain or they are following the indigenous religion or the religious faith. And these rituals are being practiced since time immemorial. And every ritual performed is meant for the well-being of the people, and also it's a thanksgiving ritual to our Creator, our God, for His blessing. And other rituals also, if needed, are performed. Like in the last 2 years, we were facing the pandemic.
Yeah.
So every Khasi villages in the last 2 years, rituals were being performed so that the people will be free from the pandemic.
Okay. So it's basically for the well-being of people of this village or tribe.
Yes. And also, like in autumn seasons, every autumn season, rituals are performed before and after harvesting. The one thing is that we have this concept of sacred forest because we have a close relationship with Mother Nature,
Okay.
with the nature.
Yeah, yeah.
So we preserve whatever remains in our surrounding. Like what we practice here in, in all the Khasi region. The people, they are allowed to collect firewood only in the winter season.
Okay.
In winter season, let's see, but naturally,
Right.
most of the plants they stop growing.
Oh, it's natural.
Naturally,
Yeah.
they take rest. But right from spring,
Yeah.
from spring to autumn season, all the plants they keep on growing. So inside the forest, we have found some of the rock minerals like these, which believe that they were formed during volcanic eruption.
Okay.
If you hold in your hand, you can feel they are much heavier than an ordinary
Right.
rock.
And it's different also.
Yes. And they do have a little bit of a magnetic property. Ada apa? So this part of the forest, this second part of the forest, it was named after this tree, this
Okay.
fallen tree.
So there are names also depending on the part of the forest.
The first part it is known as Light Terhang,
Okay.
and this part it is known as Phepandi, named after this tree. This tree locally we call it this tree Sophi,
Okay.
and this place is known, and this part is known as Phepandi.
Right.
And the third part we call it Lau Nong Kenri, or the Lau Adong.
Okay.
Lau Adong, it was called Lau Adong because in the last few centuries, when concrete was not invented, so most of the people they use timbers, or they use trees for house construction. And for all. And people with a permission given from the council, they were allowed to use timbers from the third part of the forest.
Okay.
And till 1990s, still we use timbers from the third part of the forest. But after that, after the introduction of concrete,
Yeah.
so using of timbers from that forest also has been stopped now. Like in this particular kingdom, even my clan is not allowed to be part of the ritual performed here, because by the time this village exists, our clan was not here.
Okay.
Originally we migrated from the east, and then we came and settled here.
So only people from this village can be
Yes.
part of this ritual.
Yes, by the time this village exists also, there were only few clans,
Yeah.
and only those particular clans who were responsible for the establishment of this village or of this kingdom.
आई होप आपको बहुत मजा आया होगा, मुझे तो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लगा। और जैसे मेरे बड़े बुजुर्ग कहते हैं कि बर्थडे के दिन मंदिर जाओ, पूजा करो, तो ये उससे कम है क्या? मुझे तो यहाँ बहुत ही मजा आया। चलते हैं यहाँ से क्योंकि बारिश हो रही है।
This is the proper structure of monolith.
Okay.
We have a table-shaped monolith like this one, those vertical monolith. This monolith, locally we call it Mawphlang or the female monolith.
Okay.
And those
standing
are the
ones are male.
Male monolith.
कितना सुंदर है ये। ऐसी जगह रहना मुझे बुढ़ापे में। I'm loving this birthday. तो ये था मॉफलैंग सेक्रेड फॉरेस्ट का टूर। आई होप आपको बहुत ही मजा आया होगा अंदर। मुझे तो बाहर आने का मन ही नहीं कर रहा था, मुझे अभी यहाँ से जाने का मन नहीं कर रहा है। अब थोड़ी सी डिटेल बताती हूँ। तो पहली चीज, मॉफलैंग इसे इसलिए कहते हैं क्योंकि मॉफलैंग मतलब होता है ग्रासी स्टोन। दूसरी चीज ये, जो शिलोंग से 1 घंटे लगते हैं यहाँ पहुंचने में, और शिलोंग से ये 28 किलोमीटर। थर्ड, इस फॉरेस्ट में 3 फेज है। फर्स्ट और थर्ड में हम नहीं जा सकते। मिड में जो सेंटर में सेकंड वाला है, उसमें ही सारे टूरिस्ट अंदर जा सकते हैं और उन्हें ही यहाँ का टूर दिया जाता है। इस फॉरेस्ट को प्रिजर्व करने के लिए यहाँ के ही विलेजर्स इसको मेंटेन रखते हैं, सब कुछ, यहाँ की सफाई। ऐसा माना जाता है कि अंदर जो भी जाएगा वो अंदर से कुछ भी बाहर ला नहीं सकता और अंदर कुछ ले नहीं जा सकता, मतलब ना कुछ छोड़ना है ना कुछ लेकर आना है। वो इसलिए क्योंकि ये सेक्रेड है और यहाँ के जो खासी हिल्स के ट्राइब है वो नहीं चाहते कि इसे बाहर के लोग, मतलब हम लोग टूरिस्ट या कोई भी विलेजर आके मैनिपुलेट करे। इस फॉरेस्ट के अंदर जितने भी रिचुअल परफॉर्म होते हैं वो इस विलेज के ही लोग करते हैं, मतलब खासी ट्राइब के लोग। और कोई भी बाहर का बंदा इसमें अलाउड नहीं होता है उस रिचुअल के टाइम पे। रिचुअल इसलिए होता है क्योंकि एक तरह से खासी ट्राइब के लोग मदर नेचर को थैंक यू बोलते हैं उन्हें इतनी अच्छी लाइफ देने के लिए, और दूसरा इसलिए करते हैं ताकि जो विलेज में बंदे रह रहे हैं उनकी वेलबींग अच्छे से चलती रहे। तो मेरा मन तो नहीं है यहाँ से जाने का, पर जाना तो पड़ेगा। चलो।